And we're live. Hello. Hello, hello. Hello, Paved. So, anyone else? I am. Oh, wait. Why did that music just not play the playlist? Let me change it to be local music playlist. Yes, I know that's. Let me fix this. Play all. I pressed the play all button. Oh, whatever. We'll use the top 100. Oh, wow. That's my podcast music. Podcast. Should bring back. Also, hello, backslash. Ah, welcome. We'll give it a minute. I've got a couple of bananas here, but these bananas are kind of... they're alright, but they're a bit past its prime. I mean, they still taste nice. Yes, bananas. Oh, hello, Troy. Welcome. I'm eating bananas right now. So that banana was okay. I give this one a 6 out of 10. I should do a tier list on bananas. But I guess it really depends what kind of preservatives they use on a banana in different countries. How's everyone's week going? What day is it? Wednesday. Let me fact check that a second. Banana. I only know about the preservative thing from growing up that some countries, well, maybe I don't know. How are bananas made? Let me double check. Yes, you're right. I was gonna correct myself. Pesticides, not preservatives. Let's check this vegan Reddit post from 9 years ago. A reason to buy organic bananas. Bananas may be sprayed with preservative made from shellfish. FYI, most of the fruit you buy at a supermarket, apples, oranges, pears, mangoes, literally all of it, is potentially treated with shellfish or beeswax. And there are no labeling requirements to enable you to avoid it. Yeah, we're gonna pretend I didn't read that. That gets complicated. Sometimes they do, maybe they don't, who knows? Why am I looking this up? This is an anime stream. Yes, anime. I apologize if I'm a bit out of it. I'm very tired. Didn't have a good sleep last night. Nothing weird, I just got unlucky. And I've been trying to keep myself awake because I had a work day to go through, but I worked from home. And I'm still very exhausted. Didn't want to cancel the stream because I cancelled an anime stream last time. I can imagine. Hope you'll be able to sleep better today. Thank you. I will be sleeping shortly after this stream. It's a bit of a... This will be a bit of a shorter one, but we'll see how it goes and see how I am. I just ate 2 bananas. That should give me a tiny bit of a boost, and I've got a bottle of water. And I got anime from 11 years ago to go through. 11. God. Oh. Actually, let me just double check. Browse anime from this season. 2025 season. We're in spring? Yeah, we are, so... Oh yeah. Let me just double check and fact check something. I have been watching anime. And I will... Yeah, 3rd season. Oh, it's a movie. Okay. I got things on here that I do want to watch, and there are some things on here I don't want to watch. Wait, what was at the top? Okay. I didn't watch much, but I am going to talk about some of these. How did I complete Gundam? It wasn't out yet. I am watching it. There's a 3rd episode out finally. Because I watched a movie. Which is the first 3 episodes. Oh, in that case, then yes. I have seen the first 3 episodes. And episode 4 is out. That was a questionable release choice. I also started watching Mobile Suit Gundam in response to watching this. Great for... I watched 8 episodes while I was working. Not today, but a few weeks back. And oh my god, there is way too much Gundam. It's because that new Gundam show is... very first episode is connected to the old Gundam. That's why I'm watching it, just to get a bit of context. This is on my watch list. Yeah, I'll put that as watching. Because I watched this whole show in my free time. I finally did it. I watched anime. This is Go Go Loser Ranger. It's okay. It's like an anti-Power Rangers type of show. Or anti-Sentai to be more exact. Someone described it down here as The Boys X Power Rangers. People either really like it or they really hate it. I'm in the middle where I think it's entertaining enough to make me keep watching, and it has some pretty good moments, and some moments I think that's a bit too much. I don't know if I talked about it before, but I guess my reaction to this was, yeah, this is something a 14-year-old version of me would really like. That's how I would describe this show. Don't know if I can recommend it. It was kind of a weird, like, yeah, I watched this and I had fun watching it. Probably because it was all out, so binging it's quite fun. As opposed to if it was weekly, I don't think I would have dropped this. But yeah, they made a sequel, so I'll keep an eye on that one. There, an anime I watched. I was hanging out with my friends on Monday, and I downloaded a bunch of anime from this season that looked interesting and tried to watch a bunch of it. We didn't get very far, but we did watch the first episode of Mono, which is a show about cameras. It's quite cute. It's a slice of life. Who here is a fan of Yuru Camp? Because this is the same creator. I had to look that up, even though it was pretty obvious. Oh wow, they have a voice actor for the cat. I just assumed it was just a cat. Oh yeah, if you liked Yuru Camp, you will definitely like this show. I watched... Stop saying I completed it. One episode. I've watched one episode, but I will be watching more of that. Never watched both. Yuru Camp, I never finished because it's in a very particular category of slice of life for me, which is I would do it if I'm in very super comfortable circumstances. I sat on a sofa with a blanket wrapped up while I'm drinking hot cocoa. One of those types of shows. Mono's similar. There's super cozy slice of life. There's normal slice of life, and then there's super cozy. This one is slightly above super cozy, so it's still like, oh yeah, I could probably keep up with this weekly. But yeah, you can tell it's the Yuru Camp artist because it's the eyebrows. Okay, this music is kind of funny. Let me lower it a bit. And I am watching Uma Musume, Cinderella Grey. The first 3 episodes are out. This is my shining recommendation. If you've never watched Uma Musume, you don't have to watch any to watch this one. This is a whole original story. And you can jump right into this one. And it's told differently, tonally, from the main series. Mostly because it adapts the manga, which is more of a shonen-y vibe. But yeah, I'd recommend it. Oh wait, this is another podcast song. Maybe the exit song, I can't remember. I say that like I still do podcasts. I should sort that out at some point. But yeah. That's my recommendation of this season, because it's one of the best so far. Licorice Recoil. Friends are thieves of time. These are shorts. I've watched 2 episodes of these. They're like literally 2 minutes long, and if you like Licorice Recoil and you want more of that, but it's in the form of a fun little slice of life, this is it. I do kind of wish it was like a full, maybe half an episode long, or maybe a full episode. Like, give me like, because it said 6 episodes and I was kind of hyped for it. I'm slightly disappointed to find out it was only 3 minutes, but they're fun, and maybe they'll announce season 2 or something. Who knows? They did set up some things in season 1 that might tease it, but fingers crossed. recommend it if you like Licorice Recoil and want to see more. Okay. And I haven't seen this one. I just had this on my list, so let me just double check this season again. I don't want to check these out. My friends and I tried watching this one. Please put them on Takamine-san, because of course I would. That's kind of, it looked bad, and I'm happy to report that it's kind of bad. We didn't want to watch it. We just had it. I'd say what we did was we watched it at 2 times the speed. I'm sure there's like a hardcore Takami-san fan who's mad at us doing that, but we watched the entire first episode at 3 times the speed, sorry, and it was fun to try and figure out the plot. I think it was like I don't know, someone's gonna correct me, so I don't care if you are gonna correct me on this one. From what I gather, she takes off a piece of clothing and then she can rewrite history or do a certain thing. Like, the guy gets the highest marks in a test, she takes off her pants, and then suddenly, she gets the highest marks in the test. And a boy-girl friendship survive. So yeah, needless to say, I'm not watching. Oh, maybe I could add this to my drop list because I haven't done that before. Dropped 1 episode. Someone's gonna come into here and tell me off, but I don't care. I feel a bit mean for doing that, but sometimes you need a good laugh. All right. And that's it for my live anime watch stuff. Music is not helping my brain. I'm adding these to my plan to watch list because these were the other things I put on a memory stick that I didn't get a chance to watch with my friends because we ended up getting distracted and watched Bang Dream stuff instead. They seem to be interesting. This is a sequel, so oh man, I'm gonna go watch this after the stream. I hear this one's good, but I'm waiting for it to calm down. Same with Apocalypse Hotel. Yeah, that show looks very good. I mean, if it's recommending Humanity Has Declined, Planetarian Girls Last Tour, okay, so I am in. This was 2012. We'll come back to you. Very good show. Humanity Has Declined. Alright, with that said, let's scroll through 2014. Oh god, was that that season? Oh wow, that was this season? Oh god, I'm getting flashbacks. Oh my god, am I really gonna... Okay. Some of these I just never finished. Oh, I did... Oh, that one. Oh wow, okay. Oh my god, not this show. Ah, this is nice and relaxing. Oh no, I watched a lot of trash back then. Oh, actually, I might. Yeah. Okay, that could be enough. Let's go through it. 2014. I never watched the show because the premise and plot is so sad I don't really want to do it. Well, if you haven't watched do it, don't let the music I don't think music would scare someone. Everything people know from osmosis with this show, music is not the would not be it's not the thing you should be scared of. I put it on planning. No game, no life. Oh my god. I remember watching this. I do not remember if it was good or bad. It was like a show that Galaxy brained its solutions and made me. I think when I watched it, I'm pretty sure this show was not smart. But it had that weird like confidence at feeling like it wants to be smart that I sort of respect that it committed to it. Oh my god, there's some good recommendations here below. What? When was this? 2013. When was Kakegurui? Kakegurui. 2017. Okay, no, I did add this to my list. Okay. I was a bit confused why it appeared on the bottom recommendations, but that made sense. It could just be anything. I'm second guessing myself. It's a mini tangent. I went to see the Netflix trailer for the live action adaptation of this manga. And they're calling it Bet. And they describe that as it's based on the manga as opposed to being an adaptation of the manga. Which is a thing I tend to notice like firsthand. Like, oh, so they're not actually adapting it, they're just loosely basing it. It's not for me. It doesn't look great. Certain characters I want in that series don't seem to be in that trailer, but they're probably going to be like teased at the end of it. I don't know. This show basically Yu-Gi-Oh on steroids. So take that as you will. I watched this. I think most people watched this. This was a funny anime that I don't have a strong opinion on. I think most people don't after they grow to a certain age. This is again that type of show where 14-year-old me probably really liked it. And I remember when the manga was coming out, reading it. I think it was a monthly manga and reacting with the world, its edginess. Can you even buy this manga now? I'm gonna go check. Give me a second. I'm just very curious. Manga. Oh yeah, I guess you can. Thank God I did not commit to that. No opinion on this one. very... Seven Deadly Sins. I also watched this. I watched that first season. I enjoyed it. I have issues with it today, but I never bothered to watch more of it. Because they made so much of it that it went up and down and down and up. And I think it got to the point where it was like there was one of these that made me laugh, because I'm just like, this probably sounds normal to a person outside the UK, but to me it was too funny. I think we discussed that on my sister's stream way back. Yeah, The Grudge of Edinburgh. Even though Edinburgh is like just like a place in Scotland. I'm sure that's what it's based on, but that's so funny to me. Anything with a UK thing, like, I don't know, The Grudge of Paddington or something like that. Move on. Parasite. I heard this one's very good, the manga. I'll put this on a plan to watch. (2014). Is this the manga with the penis hand meme? Penis hand meme. I shouldn't be typing that on Google. Oh my god. I'm so glad I didn't type that on stream. Okay, it wasn't. Okay. And I know where it's from now. I so glad I didn't search that on Google. I'm like on stream, sorry. Black Bullet. I never finished this, and I don't think I ever will. This was around the time. Whew. Around the time I was watching a bunch of light novel adaptions, because that was the big trend. I mean, it still is to this day, but you know, everyone has a kind of a phase when they grow up where they end up watching a bunch of like light novel anime. I guess going off the success of Sword Art Online, maybe. This isn't in this category. This is just kind of, it exists. I don't know if I want to put this on my list. I'll put this in the drops. I don't think it's a bad show. I just think I had an issue with watching stuff back then, or keeping up with stuff. That said, this one, has anyone ever seen Nozoki-kun? This might be one of the best comedy rom-coms I've ever watched. This is a super favorite of mine. It's a shame they never made a sequel. Outside of the specials, I guess. If you're looking for a comedy, rom-com, this is a big recommendation from me. Genuinely, go watch this one. Oh wow, you can just watch it. Where does that say? Oh, Crunchyroll. Of course it, yeah. Oh my god, this show. Space Jesus. I think it's called Space Jesus? Sci-Fi Jesus? That was the joke everyone was calling it back then. I watched this, and I can't tell you anything from it. I legit don't remember it. All I remember is that that dude is like perfect. He has a sister who's after him for some reason. And I don't remember I think he invents flying at some point. Oh my god. Some hardcore fan's gonna get mad at me for talking shit about this show. How many did they make? I'm curious. I assume that's the second season. Yeah, and then they called it a third season. They're releasing a movie. How? I need to look this up. How? I'm gonna check how many light novels does this thing have? Oh, okay, it ran for 9 years. 32 volumes? I'm acting surprised, but light novels, they do have a lot. That shouldn't be as surprising. Right, so that was the original run. Oh wait, that was a novel series. I assume it's like a web novel. Yeah, it was a web novel, and then it got turned into a novel. Oh, there's a sequel to that light novel. And there's another... How many light novels are there? Okay, there's 2 more. So there's... Sequel, The Irregular Magic High School Magician Company. Oh, sorry, graduated. Spoilers. And then there's another one that says The Irregular at Magic High School Maidens of... Cygnus? Cygnus. Cygnus, oh my god. Oh, this one's about... This one's about girls. Okay. Sorry, I get really curious about shows that I had some sort of like... I touched base with it once and then never continued beyond a certain point. And if anyone has seen these things, do defend it. I don't want to be rude or dismissive towards it. I just like... Okay. This one, Chunibyo Season 2. I remember liking it, I guess. I don't have an opinion on this show, other than I really like the first season. That was a fun slice of life. And then the second season happened. There was a movie as well. That was it. I did complete that, and I enjoyed that too. Sequel, and then that was an OVA. Hit sequel, that's an OVA. I mean, I miss these types of shows, though. I do enjoy them. They're quite fun. And then they made a movie. A movie that I saw in a bus. I think. It was like... It was at a Comic-Con in London. And they were doing movie screenings for this film. For some reason, the screening was in a bus that they put in the convention, so it was like a movie bus basically, and you had to sit in the bus and then watch the movie. It was just like a cinema bus basically. It was oddly fun. I had a lot of good memories of that. I don't know why we were in a bus, and they almost kicked us out of the convention because the screening was right when the convention ended. So they were like, the security guys were just like, no, you got to get out. Like, no, we're gonna watch a movie on a bus, and they're like, yeah, okay, whatever you're saying. We were able to prove in the end, but well, weird screening. But yeah, that existed, that happened. that was my memory. Good times. Yeah, yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I remember. This existed too. A show that was like a light novel adaptation by Studio Trigger that didn't feel like a Studio Trigger show. When supernatural battles become commonplace. This particular show had a famous scene that's very well executed, and most people remember it very well, and then they make the mistake of watching the show. Um, the show's kind of, from what I remember, was kind of boring. But there was like one particular episode that was so good that made me forget I was watching this show. Um, it's kind of like a slice of life show about girls with superpowers. It never really went anywhere, and there was one character who snapped at the main guy because the main character is kind of like a Chunibyo kind of character. So him having actual powers was fitted his character, I guess. But yeah, this girl. I'm gonna just double check. Yeah, it was her. There was like a whole scene. Look it up, because if you look up her name, Hatoko Yoshikawa, you'll see the scene I'm talking about. It's a very good scene, and I believe what happens afterwards is that it gets resolved almost instantly, which is a shame because it's a cool idea. I don't really want to spoil, but yeah, I do remember this show coming and going. This is on my planning list because I have friends who have watched this. Makaku Actors. It's based on a series of songs by Vocaloid Vocaloid composers. I guess artist is the right word. I think they even made an old. They announced something for this, I believe. Trying to remember. Okay, it was an announcement for more anime. What, 10 years ago? 11 years ago? I'm surprised people remember this. But yeah. Oh. Whew. This was a good slice of life. Engaged to the unidentified. How do I explain it? It's... Look up the opening and ending. It's a very cute anime about a girl, I think, who... I mean, it says right here, actually. I should read the synopsis. She is getting engaged with a total stranger. Childhood. But she doesn't remember anything about him. Okay, I don't need to... Okay, I was gonna spoil it unintentionally. I won't spoil what's up with the dude. But he's a likable dude. And it's a fun slice of life, so... Yeah, I recommend it. That was one of the pretty good ones. Space Dandy. I have never watched Space Dandy, but people keep telling me to watch Space Dandy. So there it is. Defrag. I read Defrag, and I watched Defrag. I can't believe the manga is still ongoing. How long? That's a lot. That's ongoing still? It's a comedy. I think the manga works better than the anime. But, maybe I might revisit the anime today to see if it holds up in a particular area. I apologize, I am very tired, but I'm going to keep going. until I at least get past the hour mark. Wait, I'm not letting anything distract me. I'll probably take a nap, and I'll probably have a meal. Because drinking water and eating bananas won't be enough. Yeah, defrag. Can't recommend. I don't know if I can recommend it because I don't remember it. It's a pretty funny slapstick comedy. But yeah, I can't remember. I the manga. Read the first chapter, maybe. I don't know. That's my recommendation. Oh my god, Chaika! I don't remember anything about this show other than Chaika memes. If you typed in Chaika meme on Google, you'll see a lot of faces up from her. I definitely have watched this, and I did remember liking. How can I say I like something if I don't remember it? Maybe this is on my revisit plans. And yeah, they made a second season. And I don't remember anything that happened then either. Let me go get this and check the openings and endings after the stream, because I kind of might I like refreshing my memory by watching old anime opening and endings. Old, it's 11 years old. That's, I guess it is kind of old. Witchcraft Works. This made me respect all women, I think. I don't remember. This opening. Not this opening. This show had a really good ending song, and it involved that cat girl, or like a group of other witches singing karaoke. But basically, it's about a really tall witch girl who protects this guy who's shorter than her. So if that's your kind of vibe, that might be a fun watch. Again, I'm too old to remember this. 11 years old? That was yesterday, right? Yes. Yeah, let's say it was yesterday. Yeah, she princess carries him a lot. I remember that. One Week Friend I liked. Quite of a sad premise. Oh. About a girl who loses her memories every week, basically. It's a nice slice of life. I don't know. I don't have that. It's one of those shows that's on the tin. And I think there's only so much you can do with that kind of premise, which is why I prefer the manga. But yeah, if you're looking for a cute, bittersweet kind of show, that kind of fills that vibe, in my opinion. Yeah. I have no excuse. I watched this with friends. It's a Yuri slice of life, the two girls kissing every episode. This is the prime definition of this is on the tin, very surface level Yuri. If you just like watching two girls kiss each other. Hey, this was 10 years ago. I watched Good Yuri, and this is kind of in that it benefits people in particular ways. So let's move on. I heard this show is a bit of a meme. I don't know if it's a good show or a bad show, but I'm adding it to the planning list. Partly because the person who created the creator of this created Elfen Lied, a show that I also did not watch growing up. but I know people have. And this is a show that I guess, definitely a 14-year-old version of me would have liked. I don't know if this... Elfen Lied, growing up, was usually associated with a gory, as a quote-unquote gory anime. So, who knows? You know what? Let's add it to the planning list. Let's visit that period of time I missed. I've watched Elfen Lied back at the time, but now that I've grown up, I can't handle the gore or the themes in it anymore. I can handle gore. I don't... I think for me, it depends on... I guess I'm just going to apply my logic, is that when I was younger, I always hated horror movies. Now that I'm older, I actually... horror is probably my favorite genre of horror of films. I don't know if that applies with anime though, because anime gore is usually too excessive or maybe a bit too edgy at times whenever I see it used. And trying to think if there was like... I don't think there aren't really many anime that I would consider good horror. I need to do my actual research here, because there's probably some really good... I guess Perfect Blue, that film by Satoshi Kon. That's a horror movie, but it's a very good movie. And it's less about... I don't want to spoil that movie. If you've not seen Perfect Blue, I highly recommend that movie. Might be one of my favorite horror films. But it's very good executing its horror themes without being too, I guess, self-indulgent, which I think a lot of anime has a problem. I don't want to say a lot of anime. I haven't watched enough horror anime to distinguish what is good and bad. I've had the opposite experience at it. Yeah, no, that's fair. I think for me, horror... I'm nitpicky when it comes to horror these days. Like, I watch a horror movie if it's not jump scary or excessively gory, which I think most people will stereotype horror movies as being that thing. I'm more into, like, tell an interesting story, or if it's like psychological horror, that something that keeps me interested, instead of like murderer who kills everyone and you see all sorts of gory effects. That said, I do watch some of those, but it's usually in a schlocky way, and I watch it with my friends. I usually appreciate the practical effects because you get less of those these days than you do back then. But yeah, that's kind of my mini tangent on horror as a thing. In anime, it's much more different, because I think anime, when I was growing up, is either... I think it was just like, when I was a kid, I'd see YouTube videos like, fucked up anime, and it's like Higurashi, and I click it, and I'm like, too scared to watch it. And Elfen Lied was one of those kind of in that category of fucked up anime. I think it was like a YouTube... You know how they would put a YouTube video that said, this is the most fucked up anime ever, and it's like some scenes in the show. That's how I view it. I could be wrong about Elfen Lied, though. I know some friends who really like it, and I know some friends who really hate it. Elfen Lied is pretty effed up. Yeah, that's the vibe I get. It's either too edgy, or I don't know. I have to watch it and give my opinion on that, which I'll do someday. Let me just drink some water. Right. The comic artist and his assistants. I watched this. Oh, is it actually a short? Oh, it's not really a short. Well, I guess it is. It's like half an episode. This is a comedy. about a perverted artist. I don't. You know what? I'm gonna go rewatch this one. I need to understand if some of this comedy. This is in the category of the manga works better, and the anime I'm not sure. I can't remember. I have watched it. Definitely have. I didn't finish this. This is like a Yuri show about 12 assassins trying to kill each other, I guess. Gay assassins, that's what they're calling it. I'll put this on the pools. It might be good. I don't remember. Lesbian assassins without the lesbians or the assassins. What is this show about? I don't remember. I think it's because it's... Oh, I feel so old if I can't remember anything. Sonari no Sekikan. Yeah, we'll just move on and pretend. Well, maybe one day I might visit it. I watched this. It's a cute show. It's about a girl and a guy sat on a desk, and she's reacting to him doing fun little gags on the table in the background. And that's the premise of the whole show. He's just doing all sorts of crazy things while the teacher's teaching class, basically. I did watch Dragon Ball Kai, and I thought it was great. I have no opinions on it. Well, I just had an opinion on it, so never mind. There we go. Dragon Ball's out the way. Nana's buried treasure. Oh my god, this took me back. Sorry, I need to send a GIF to a chat. No one's gonna remember this. Okay, there was a GIF of of a blonde-haired girl drinking out of a straw. Never watched Kai, only the original, and it took 5 episodes to make a spirit bomb. But I have some good news about Kai. Kai is basically a stripped down version without with the filler cut out. So it's still slow pacing, but that's just kind of how it was. But it adapts nearly everything in the manga perfectly. It's also 4x3 if you care about that. And if you're watching it in English dub, the thing I think I noticed is that it uses the Japanese soundtrack. I think most people who grew up on Dragon Ball remembers the old soundtrack, which was an American soundtrack by an American composer. I feel wrong to say it's an American because I don't actually know. Dragon Ball Z composer. English. Bruce Falconer, yeah, and was he? Yeah, he was from Texas. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's what the Falconer soundtrack. That's what people refer to, I believe. But yeah, I definitely have a soft spot for that one, so I hope someone made that like someone made an edit of that Kai with that soundtrack. Because I'd be very curious if someone could. But that said, yeah, Kai is a fun one to watch years later if you're ever interested in trying to revisit Dragon Ball. I did, and I'm glad I didn't regret it. Had it in the background while I was doing things and I got really invested. Same, love the American opening out of nostalgia. Yeah, that opening is classic. Kai has an English dub sound opening and ending, but they're not as good because they're just singing the Japanese version, and when you get an English dub singing the Japanese version of a song with English lyrics, it always sounds weird or off just a bit. Whereas the Japanese version is... That isn't me trying to be a sub-only type of person. I watched the entire thing in dub. It was just that kind of thing where I'm like, oh, they're singing the opening and ending in English. They probably should have just not do that, but I get why. But yeah, I'd recommend giving that a try. Kai is fun. I love falling down the Dragon Ball rabbit hole. Yeah, I own every Dragon Ball manga, and I am up to date with Super and the movies. I have all of them actually. I got like the Blu-rays for Dragon Ball Super, which I won on an eBay sale a year or so ago for like 30 quid, which is insane because there's 10 volumes and they usually cost like £20 each. I got really lucky. I believe OG Dragon Ball was like 16 volumes, and then I think Z was 20 something. I think it was 26 or 21. My numbers are off. And then Dragon Ball Super, I have the volumes right behind me. Let me just check. Yeah, they're 22, but I think there was the 23rd volume that came out that I need to buy. There's a lot of manga. Let me see. It's a weird one because, you know, if you want to watch OG, you can either watch the OG anime, OG Dragon Ball, or if you were born in the 80s, you would call that Dragon Ball. I call it OG because I'm from the 90s and I grew up on Z, and then I watched OG years later. The OG Dragon Ball has like 100 and something episodes, and then Z, we all know about Z, and then there's the Kai, which is an alternate version you can watch, and Super. Dragon Ball Super's manga and anime are two different storylines. Well, no, they're the same plot beats, but they're told differently. Super is a lot shorter with more arcs, and the anime version of Super adapts, I think, half of the volumes so far. There hasn't been a sequel since, so we'll have to wait and see. So if you really want to get into like full on, you want to just go like Kino top tier animation, go watch the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Dragon Ball Super Broly. Yeah, Dragon Ball Super Broly. That is... It's got like the 90s art style mixed with modern Dragon Ball. It looks great, it's animated beautifully, and it's a fun time from start to finish. And the animation is just nuts. And they never attempted it ever again. That's not true. Dragon Ball Daima came out last season. 2 seasons ago. And that was, oh, Dragon Ball Daima. Oh, do you mean Dragon Ball Broly? Let me type it in on the Twitch chat. Dragon Ball Super Broly. And then there's Dragon Ball Daima. Dragon Ball Daima the 24 episode show. That was the last thing Toriyama worked on before he passed away. So I have a bit of a soft spot for it, and there's a lot of little fun stuff to it. Daima is more of a throwback to OG Dragon Ball and a mix of modern Dragon Ball. It's a bit of a weird mix of the two. Because I've heard the criticisms of Daima is that it's very slow paced, and I agree with that. But if you're watching Dragon Ball, that's normal. I guess I always think that's a weird argument to make, like, oh, it's so slow. I'm like, have you watched Dragon Ball? Most of Dragon Ball's always been like that, so that's my defense on that. Yeah. I guess maybe people are referring to, oh, I want there to be full-on super-powered battles, which you do get towards the end of that show. That show is like 22 episodes long, I think. Oh, I had such a fun time watching that. And yeah, it's animated very, very beautifully. But yeah, I do have grown somewhat. I do have somewhat grown less patient over the years, though. I have to try and see. No pressure. I totally get it. Dragon Ball Daima is not. It worked because I was watching it weekly. It probably doesn't work if you're trying to binge it in the same way. Like, if I were to tell you, go watch Dragon Ball Super, I don't think I could subject you through that, since half of that show is kind of bad. Badly animated, slow-paced, and unnecessary. There's a lot of good watch guides. I might have to write one up for people one day, because it's like Super adapts the first and second movie that came out after Z, the Dragon Ball Super movies, so Resurrection of F and the one with Beerus. Oh god, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. But yeah, Dragon Ball's fun. I like Dragon Ball. Oh, it's nice to talk about Dragon Ball. But yeah, let's move on. Nanana's Buried Treasure. Yeah, I sent a gift to my friends on this one. I watched this years back, and I had a fun time watching it. Let me... Nana's Buried Treasure. Can I link it? Because I like linking this GIF, because funny little GIF. Can I send this in chat? Or will I get flagged? There we go. Now you can see the GIF too. I don't know. Is the show good? I don't remember if the show's good. All I remember is I had one of those, like... It was one of those... fast-paced light novel adaptations that I ended up just having fun watching. In a very particular category. Oh, I guess it is a mystery. Oh my god, I might have to rewatch this one. Okay. Moving on. Ugh. Pupa. I'm gonna send a Pupa gift to my friends. Pupa anime. There's multiple Pupa animes? The fuck? I just want to send a GIF. This was a terrible show, but it's a short for 4 minutes. I loved it. It's the worst thing I ever watched. An awful TV short that's genuinely disturbing, but for wrong reasons. Wouldn't recommend under any circumstances. Change this last bit to I would recommend it. It's terrible. I don't think it's scary. I don't think it's disturbing either. Well, okay, it is. The girl is basically turns into a monster and that can eat people. And the main guy, I believe, is immortal, so he makes his sister eat him occasionally. And my friends turned it into like a drinking game where we would drink excessively. This is back in my 20s. Early 20s, where we would drink excessively to certain lines in the show. Again, it's not a good show. It's a short 4 minutes in, and I think the very last episode doesn't even make any sense at all. It just exists. What a weird show. This is my show. It's terrible. I should read that manga out of curiosity. Can I even get this? Because it would be funny to give my friends this. Amazon. Super manga. No. Only the sickest people in the world release this. The French. I'm kidding. I love French people. But yeah, the French are the only people who license this. Because, yeah. We never got an English release. That's fine. Oh my god. Soul Eater, not. More like what the title said, because it isn't Soul Eater. I might rewatch Soul Eater. That's something I want to revisit. Yeah, let me open this. I got like a tab of random shit. That random shit. I've only seen Soul Eater. Good. Soul Eater Gnaw is... It's like a weird slice of life-ish Soul Eater. Is it Yuri? Is the tags here Yuri? Love triangle. Bisexual. Basically all I remember is this girl here, the one in the front. And both these girls are weapons. If you already know the plot of Soul Eater, you know that, you know, there's a weapon meister and the weapon which is a living thing, and you're kind of connected. And depending on how connected you are, the stronger you are, from what I remember. And there's general setup for Soul Eater not based on that first chapter when I read it back then was she has a connection with both these girls and she has to share both of them basically. They're both, and that's what I think this love triangle is supposed to be. But yeah, it's mostly cute girls doing cute thing. Do not expect Soul Eater, even though I think it is animated by Bones, but it doesn't have that same budget. I don't remember this show. Maybe I should go watch this, but yeah, I'll probably go rewatch old Soul Eater. Soul Eater had such a cool style. Most people remember the Courage Punch ending, if you remember that specifically. Most people remember that ending. Show's great. I will never forget the Courage Punch ending, where she punched the bad guy in the face so hard he exploded. Well, if you like this, you probably, I assume you know what, you probably know Fire Force is like in the same universe. It's the same creator, Fire Force. Maybe I should give that a watch. Because I know this is a prequel to Soul Eater, from my understanding. But yeah, give this one. Oh, I actually don't know Fire Force. Okay, I knew of Fire Force, but I knew it was the creator, and I knew a couple of characters from Soul Eater did appear in this. I think I could be wrong. Might be misremembering, but I heard this show. Yeah, it's got a sequel. Oh wow, it's a 50 episode show, and then there's a season 3. I wonder if they'll ever do, like, because it's Bones, right? They should do like what you call it, like a Soul Eater Brotherhood adapts the manga. Though I hear the manga's ending is kind of mixed opinions as well. But yes, Fire Force. I'll give that one a watch. I already talked about Chaika. This show's brilliant. Gonna be the Twin Tail. This is the greatest show I've ever watched. I'm kidding. Kinda. It's about a guy who turns into a girl with twin tails because he loves twin tails so much. It's like a twin tails superhero story. And he's fighting the world against bad guys who want to steal twin tails away from the world. It's an insanely dumb premise. But I vaguely remember having the most fun time watching it, so I gotta go rewatch this show. I unfortunately did watch this. We don't talk about it. But a sad face there. Moving on. World Conquest. I like this show. I don't remember anything of it. This seems to be the common trend with me right now. I like this show. I don't remember why. I wouldn't watch this again, and you probably don't want to start it. I don't agree. Maybe it's actually good. I might have to disagree with this guy. I vaguely remember being entertained from it. And there was one episode in particular that made me laugh out loud, which was an anti-smoking episode, where one of the characters snaps. The whole episode was basically an anti-smoking episode. Came out of nowhere, but I loved it. I remember that episode specifically. It's what's this one? Yatterman Night. I remember seeing that as a recommendation. Let me add that to the recommendation. Okay. Wick Sauce. I did watch this. Why is this mark? I thought you talked about this show. Am I? Oh, okay. I watched the sequel as well. Yeah, that's why. Oh my god, classic. I watched this. Is the most it exists anime that ever existed. You watched it and then nothing happened. Oh yeah, this person subbed it. Abysmal and boring series filled to the brim with a... Is that... This show didn't... Oh yeah, I guess this show had chicken metaphors. I thought True Tears had. This anime has to be one of the worst I've seen in a while. I don't... Maybe. My definition for worst means... I always forget that what I expect from bad anime isn't the same as what other people have. So this show's boring, which you can argue is worse than bad. But for me, my standards are it needs to be bad in an entertaining way for me to give it any kind of attention. This is boring. I wouldn't recommend it personally. But yeah, it's in that... I remember True Tears. That's an old anime. I remember that, but I don't remember it. Oh my god, someone's gonna call me out one day. if I ever become popular and they're digging through these archives and they're trying to like, this dude doesn't know what he's talking about. He just keeps saying you've watched anime and don't remember anything of it. Be in my shoes when you get to my age and you look back on anime. And Nozuki-kun specials. Denki Guy, which I paused. I don't remember finishing this. Airing right now. Again, highly recommend Aharen-san because it got a second season, which I still can't believe is actually happening. So, oh wait, let me remind my friends. Let me stream Aharen-san. Oh no, the music has stopped. That's good timing because that was the entirety of 2020. That was the entirety of 2014. Do I have time for 2013? I'll be honest, I am very exhausted. I hope it's okay if I end the stream there. I think I did pretty good so far. An hour and 20. I think that I did a good job at keeping myself alive. Absolutely go rest. Thank you. We'll stop there. The music has stopped, so that's good timing. Where is the music that I had playing? Because it's just kind of disappeared. No, I opened up the game engine. Oh, that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be giving an update on my game progress. Most of it is to do with working on the prototype, but I've gotten something that works. I'm excited to show it, and I hope people look forward to seeing that. But yeah, apologies for the short stream. I am again running on a very low sleep, and I'm not gonna go rest right away. I probably need to stay up a couple more hours, and then so I don't mess up my sleep schedule because I got work in the morning. So, yeah, cool. With that said, we'll end it there. I hope you have a thank you for entertaining me, as I hope I have entertained you. I hope you have a lovely morning, day, afternoon, evening, and night, wherever and whenever you may be. Thank you, Paved, and thank you, Backslash, and